Peace, family. America has not a COVID pandemic. We have a different type of pandemic that's sweeping this country. And it's a pandemic of unaccountability. And it's spreading from the governing body of this system. You have elected officials running amok, doing whatever they want to do. Here you got Governor Santos on a personal vendetta against Disney. He was unable to strip them of their self autonomy. So now he's going to try to retaliate, talking about threatening to build a prison next to Disney World. The state of Florida is not your personal playground for you to carry out your little petty grudges, Santos. If you this petty as a governor, how petty you gonna be if you ever become president? Then you got this other fool somewhere in Ohio, elected official, spending over $300,000 of taxpayer money buying snow owls and wildebeest for his personal Airbnb that he has that he rent out to earn money. You spending $300,000 of taxpayer money to bolster your personal petting zoo for people who rent out your property. Here you got elected officials and facing mass shooting after mass shooting. They pass no laws, suggest no legislation to address the issue at hand. But y'all can come up and try to vote out three senators that were just protesting along with the victims and the parents just to show support. You don't do anything to address the issue at hand, but if you stand out and protest and show sympathy and empathy for the grieving and for the fearful parents, now you take action. When you have a governing body that's acting in this manner, that's nobody holding them in check, nobody holding them accountable, this creates a culture of unaccountability among the people. The government is not accountable to the people, and the people are not accountable to themselves. This is why you're starting to have a rash of shootings that falls just below mass shootings. The black child shot twice by an 85-year-old man going to the wrong house. Had to go to 3 different homes before he can get help. White woman shot and killed by a white man just for turning in the driveway to turn around and go back the other way. You had 2 or 3 cheerleaders shot going to the wrong car. They thought it was theirs. Mexican guy was sitting there when the women, 3 women, approached this guy's car, and what did he do? He pulls out a gun and shoots him. Then you got somebody door dashing, trying to make a little extra money, go to the wrong house to make a delivery, and they get shot at. You got a government not accountable to itself. You got a government not accountable to the people. And now the people aren't even accountable to themselves. You're not able to do anything. You can't make a mistake. You can't go to school. You can't go to church. You can't go to a concert without. This is the only way to curb this is to have a governing body that's accountable not only to itself but to its constituents. A governing body that's going to be the example and set the standard of standard of living for the people that they can look up to and respect and admire. Here now, you got people looking up at these fools. They're making excuses for them, and they're not stopping. Here, Donald Trump committed 34 felonies in the 4 years he was in office. And you still got people want to vote him back in the presidency. And then people look up to this guy and want to mimic his behavior. If we don't set a standard for our people to separate us from them, this wave, this pandemic of unaccountability is going to create a culture that's going to be unfit for anybody to live in. This is why I always say to my people, if we can just come together and build for ourselves, establish our own independent businesses, industries, and institutions to safeguard and promote our own way of life, to govern our own selves. Because when this system collapses, we've got to have some type of leadership, some type of example, some type of standard that will hold us and keep us at bay. If not, we're going to have complete havoc. The government is not accountable to itself. The government is not accountable to the people. You could be shot and bleed and still can't get help from your neighbor. This is not the African way. We have been so far removed from our traditions, our social norms. I don't see why I'm the only one that see this and see the importance of it. And if we don't do this for ourselves, who's going to do it for us? Do you think these people are going to honestly stop caring about the people? When you see how bad this country is right now, even though they tout and claim that they're the number one greatest country on the earth, but you can't tell them anything they're number one in that's beneficial for the people. Name me a string of things that this country, this government provides for our people that's beneficiary and will be there and sustain our people that makes them number one. They can't do it. And the only way, this country is never going to be able to do it because it's not built that way. They're not going to profit off of peace and prosperity. As long as they profit off of mass killings, stoking fear, spreading lies, robbing and stealing, they're not going to stop that. We've got to get together and assemble our own standard of mandated values and principles and start building our own businesses, industries, and institutions around our own essential needs so that we can at least sustain ourselves. Because we cannot save the world. But at least we can be able to do is save ourselves. I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this message, and if you like this content, and if you like this pressure that I put on our oppressor, then put a little pressure on that follow and subscribe button and catch me in my next video. Ashe.